Just after the March issue of GQ came out in late February, Dean Esmay told us all to keep an eye on the front page of avoiceformen.com. 6 months later, he delivers the article he promised. Dean and I have an understandable difference of opinion on the subject of where the age of consent should be. I had just a little bit of hope that we would be able to have a productive dialogue. In the last email I have from Dean, he wrote, "We aren't going to be attacking you." Well, thank goodness for that. If calling me a pedophile, a child molester, and a child rapist isn't attacking me, I'd hate to see what is. Statements he'd made up until now indicated that AVFM's sights were set on Charlotte. The fun part about being a sex offender, though, is I'm just so easy of a target. Can you blame them for not being able to resist? Here's Dean on my response video on March 4th. I have extremely mixed reactions here. As a victim of childhood sexual abuse, I do believe in forgiveness, yet your position is extreme. I'm conflicted in knowing how to react to you. Dean's internal conflict has since been resolved. I regret to inform you he chose to be weak. He chose to throw mud at an easy target. I don't really care about me, though. You can't throw mud at a swamp. I care about the 800,000 other registered persons AVFM is turning its back on. I'm reminded of something Victor Zen has said in the past. He made himself clear saying something like, "I like tits, and I'm not sorry." Right on, to thine own self be true. The AVFM crowd seems to agree that men should not be ashamed of being attracted to what nature programmed them to be attracted to. But wait, what if the breasts in question are on a 17-year-old? Here they part ways with me. My judgment level remains a solid 0. They, alternatively, are comfortable letting men sit in prison for such an act. Why did I say 12, then? A number of reasons. The first of which reminds me of Nikolai, the NKVD chief for Stalin's first Great Purge. He said, "Better that 10 innocent people should suffer than 1 spy get away. When you chop wood, chips fly." Whereas Benjamin Franklin said, "It is better 100 guilty persons should escape than 1 innocent person should suffer." I'll take Franklin over Yezhov any day. I won't apologize for my dedication to giving the benefit of the doubt to the accused. If we have to do something ridiculous, like pick an age where we draw a line, then yes, I'm picking a low number. Sorry, not sorry. I'm also not sorry for comparing the current witch hunt against normal male sexuality with Stalinist terrors. The number of famous names alone who've had their careers destroyed because their sex lives were made public is endless. I don't know if he ever got in trouble for it, but Franklin himself was renowned for his pornography collection. I'd bet good money some of those images were underage. I'm curious. Out of those of you who would throw a punch or two at me, do you feel the same way about Franklin? Consistency would demand it. Why am I so sure there would have been underage drawings? Well, that's reason number 2. The age of consent was 10 in England at the time, and either 12 or 10 or lower in every single American colony. The age of consent had been set to 12 by the Rape Act of 1275 within the first statute of Westminster, signed by King Edward I. It was lowered to 10 in 1576. Then came feminism. In 1875, feminist Josephine Butler was successful in having lobbied for raising the age in England to 13. Turns out you don't need to be able to vote to have enormous political power, but that's besides the point. In 1885, she succeeded in getting the age bumped up again, this time to 16. Simultaneously, homosexuality was banned. If we're already criminalizing normal sexuality, why not hurt more people? Within the next 10 years, feminists in America had the same success state by state. In that short interval, New York State, for example, went from 10 to 18. There you have it. The artificially high age of consent, brought to you by the same women's groups who gave us prohibition and the criminalization of homosexuality. The historical argument is formidable. I'm glad I'm not the one who has to argue against me. If you want to call me a pedophile, You're saying the same about almost every ancestor you have, male or female, going back millions of years. It was only after first-wave feminism that the social norm was changed by force, and suddenly sex with a teenager turned you into a boogeyman child rapist. A number of other anti-feminist thinkers have already noticed the recurring pattern. It is always women who decide what is and what is not moral. A sex-positive MRA is one who questions using the Helen Lovejoys of the world as their moral compass. A pedophile, for the record, is of course someone attracted to the prepubescent. That is the exact opposite of what I am. Pointing the finger feels so good though, doesn't it? You, dear listener, are not like me after all. You are a good man, not like us bad men. You are positively disgusted at the thought of teenage breasts. Yuck! Who are these sicko monsters who would be attracted to that? Better to throw them under the bus to improve your chances of gaining the approval of mainstream feminized culture.